Hey everyone! Welcome to the Bold and Beautiful 24. I'm Alessio, and I'm so excited to have you here. If you love Bold and Beautiful, then you're in the right place. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Alright, let's dive right in. Steffy's matchmaker twist helps Taylor move on from Ridge. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers hint that Steffy Forrester may have a matchmaker twist coming up. When Taylor Hayes returns to Los Angeles, will Steffy assist her in moving on from Ridge Forrester? Despite Ridge's poor treatment of Taylor, Thomas Forrester has been struggling to let go of his happy family dreams. It was easier for Thomas to unleash his wrath on Brooke Logan and act like she was the problem. However, Ridge is the one who made the decision to break Taylor's heart once more. That's because Ridge finally listened to what his own heart was telling him and reunited with his true love. Steffy has played matchmaker for Taylor and Ridge in the past, but she may change her tune after her mom's latest round of devastation. It would be nice to see Steffy's desire to safeguard Taylor this time around and ensure that Ridge does not harm Taylor in that manner again. According to B&B Fall Preview spoilers, Steffy will support Taylor and express concern about Ridge's behavior. Steffy certainly sounds like she will join Team Taylor wholeheartedly and might even give up the idea that her parents still belong together. Steffy might think that Brooke will disappoint Ridge, but she might also see that he will never break this cycle. Perhaps Steffy will determine that Brooke is truly Ridge's destiny, at least in terms of being destined for ongoing drama with Brooke. Steffy has seen Taylor hurt enough times to hopefully realize this is all she's going to get with Ridge. If Steffy wants Taylor to find real romantic bliss and make it last, it's not going to be with Steffy's father. That's why a matchmaker twist could be on the way if Steffy decides to set Taylor up with someone else. Steffy might finally wise up and see that Taylor deserves better than Ridge, so she could help Taylor move on when she's ready. Whether Steffy gets Taylor on a dating app or sets her up with some handsome corporate type that she knows, there'd be some easy ways for Steffy to get involved here. Steffy may be adamant about her mother putting herself back out there, while Taylor may object to her daughter fixing her up with someone. Steffy might open the door for Taylor to start a new romantic relationship in the months to come, as we are aware. Even if Steffy's matchmaking efforts don't work out, she could at least open Taylor's mind to the possibility of dating and truly moving on from Ridge. Steffy Forrester has always been a woman with strong convictions, someone who fights fiercely for what she believes in and protects the people she loves most with unwavering loyalty. However, what is about to happen in her personal life and within her family may very well be one of the most intriguing chapters yet in the ever-twisting narrative of the Bold and the Beautiful. This time, Steffy may step into the role of matchmaker not for her father Ridge Forrester, not for her brother Thomas, or Steffy has been quietly observing, quietly realizing that the real issue here is not Brooke at all, but Ridge himself, a man who continues to make choices that lead to heartbreak, a man who insists on following his heart wherever it leads. Even if that means abandoning Taylor time and time again whenever Brooke lets him down, only to be discarded again when Brooke decides she wants him back, because this cycle has drained her, humiliated her, and prevented her from experiencing the kind of lasting Steffy Forrester has always been a woman of strength, conviction, and fierce loyalty when it comes to protecting the people she loves. But what's about to unfold in Los Angeles could mark one of her most surprising turns yet, because for years she has been the one who secretly, and sometimes not so secretly, rooted for her parents to reunite, pushing for a rekindling between Taylor Hayes and Ridge Forrester in the hope that her family could finally have that storybook ending she has always longed for. But now, after watching her mother's heart get broken yet again because Ridge couldn't make a decision, because Ridge couldn't stand firm, because Ridge, true to form, followed his wandering heart back to Brooke Logan, Steffy may be forced to make a choice she never thought she would. Stop playing matchmaker for her parents and instead use her determination, her resources, and her passion to help Taylor move on, not back toward Ridge, but away from him completely, because Steffy is starting to understand something that has been painfully obvious for a very long time, which is that Ridge will always be Ridge, torn between two women, driven by his emotions in the moment, and unable to give her mother the kind of steady, lasting love she deserves. And though it has been easier for Thomas Forrester to place all of the blame on Brooke, attacking her, accusing her, lashing out at her as though she alone were responsible for breaking up their family, the truth is, Ridge was the one who made the decision to walk away from Taylor. Ridge was the one who listened to his heart, or at least what he thought his heart was saying in that moment, and Ridge was the one who reunited with Brooke, leaving Taylor to pick up the pieces yet again, and Steffy, who has stood by her mother's side through more heartbreak than most daughters ever have to witness, is growing weary of the cycle, weary of watching Taylor cry, Weary of seeing her mother give Ridge chance after chance only to end up hurt, weary of clinging to the hope that somehow this time will be different, and maybe, just maybe, Steffy is about to realize that the healthiest, most loving thing she can do for her mother is not to push her toward her father, but to pull her away from him and into the possibility of something new, something better, something real. So when Taylor returns to Los Angeles and inevitably crosses paths with Ridge, when she's once again faced with the magnetic pull of the man she's loved for decades, it will be Steffy who steps in with a twist no one saw coming, because instead of urging Taylor to fight for Ridge, she may be the one saying, "Mom, enough is enough. He's never going to change, and you deserve so much more than this." And Steffy may go so far as to use her influence and her connections to set her mother up, to play matchmaker in a way that doesn't serve Ridge, but instead serves Taylor, because whether it's getting her mom to dip a toe into the dating app world, or introducing her to a handsome corporate powerhouse she knows through the business world, or even encouraging her to spend time with someone unexpected who shows genuine interest, Steffy may finally open the door to the possibility of Taylor finding happiness with someone other than Ridge. And though Taylor might resist at first, insisting she doesn't want her daughter meddling in her love life, Steffy's determination may wear her down, because Steffy knows her mother has spent far too many years settling for scraps of Ridge's love, waiting for him to choose her, waiting for him to prioritize her, waiting for him to see her as the one and only woman in his life. But Ridge has never been able to do that, and he never will, and Steffy knows that the longer her mother stays trapped in that cycle, the more time she loses, the more happiness slips through her fingers. So maybe this time, instead of trying to fix her parents' relationship, Steffy's focus will be on fixing her mother's broken heart in a new and empowering way, because as the bold and the beautiful fall spoiler suggest, Steffy will be on Team Taylor fully and without reservation, no longer divided by her own longing for her family to reunite, no longer willing to ignore Ridge's flaws in the name of fantasy, but instead choosing to protect her mother and support her wholeheartedly, even if it means letting go of her own dreams. And while Thomas may continue to rage, blaming Brooke for everything, perhaps Steffy will be the voice of reason, the one who says, "Brooke isn't the only problem, Ridge is the problem," and maybe that truth will be the catalyst for a new chapter, one in which Taylor finally gets the chance to find real love, lasting love and peace, because Steffy is wise enough to see that her father's destiny may always be tied to Brooke, tied to that never-ending loop of passion, betrayal, forgiveness and drama, and while she might not like it, she may finally accept it, and in doing so, she may free her mother to pursue something better, something stable, something healing. And whether Steffy's matchmaking attempts lead to a grand romance or simply plant the seed in Taylor's mind that moving on is possible, the very act of her daughter encouraging her to try could be enough to shift Taylor's perspective, because if Steffy wants Taylor to truly move on from Ridge, to close that chapter once and for all, then she will have to lead by example, showing her mother that love doesn't have to be complicated, that love doesn't have to hurt, that love doesn't have to be Ridge, and in the end, it may not even matter who Steffy introduces Taylor to, because the real victory may simply be getting Taylor to realize that she deserves more, that she deserves a man who chooses her without hesitation, a man who won't walk away at the first sign of trouble, a man who sees her as his everything. And for the first time in years, Taylor could find herself daring to believe that such a love is possible, all thanks to her daughter's unexpected matchmaker twist, because Steffy may have finally learned the most important lesson of all. Sometimes the best way to love someone is not to give them what they think they want, but to help them see what they truly need.